Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Corinna and thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. So in today's video I have a dessert. So what I'm going to do is make some apple turnovers, and these are the things I'll be using. So I have some Pillsbury, and these are the butterflake croissants, and there's 8 of them in there. And then I have this apple pie filling, which I got at Walmart, and that was in the grocery haul. I'll be using some butter, no measurements, just some melted butter to brush over the top. And this stuff here is for the icing that I'll drizzle over the apple turnovers. And for that I'll be using some powdered sugar, or confectioner's sugar, same thing. Some vanilla extract, and some milk. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get set up. I'm going to roll out my croissants, and we'll take it from there. Alright everyone, so I have my cookie sheet here, and I have some parchment paper on it. You can choose to use non-stick spray rather than parchment paper. It's up to you. So I have my apple pie filling here. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my croissants. This is always the funnest part. There we go. And this comes with 8 croissants, but I'm actually going to make 4 turnovers, because I'm going to basically stack one on top of the other. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this off right now. And I'll put this to the side. I'll lay it back in the tube. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and break these off. I'm just going to go ahead and lay them out. Sorry about my voice. I don't feel hoarse. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Another week upon us, and can't believe it is the last week of February already. But that's okay, because that means it's closer, that much closer to spring. And I'm sure we're all getting a little spring fever now. Okay, so I have 4 crescent rolls here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a spoon and fill these with the apple pie filling. And you could use the bigger ones. These are so smaller crescent rolls. You can use the bigger ones to get more filling in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, okay? Be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to take a spoon and get some of this filling. And just fill it here. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm not quite sure how much to fill it up, because I need the edges to pinch down with the other turnover, or the other croissant. So yeah, find a small one here for the side. Alright, I think that's going to be good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try this one. I'm going to take one of the other croissants and put it over that to see how that works out before I fill up the other ones. So we're just going to take this one and put it over the top here. Oh yeah, I think that'll work out just fine. You just can stretch it a little bit to go over and pinch the ends. And I could probably even put a little bit more here to get use of the whole crescent roll. Because sometimes, like, you know, when you buy turnovers in the store, most of it's actually bread. That's a little too big. They don't actually fill it all the way. This is probably not any better, but I'm going to go ahead and use it. We like to see our turnovers filled all the way. And I'm pretty much pushing this in, aren't I? But if you just stretch it, it's going to puff up anyway when you bake it. You see how you just pinch it down a little bit? And I'm just going to take a fork, like right here, on this edge right here, it's open a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and take a fork and just kind of pinch it down. If I can get a good angle here. These aren't going to be perfect, obviously, but I think they're going to be good. You might have, when it bakes, obviously you're going to have some of that filling come out, the liquidy part, but that's okay. All right. So yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up the rest of these and cover them up. And then I'll be back when I'm ready to brush them with the butter, okay? Stay tuned. Okay, so I have all 4 of them done. You can see they're not the prettiest looking. I had to do some surgery there. But yeah, and I chose to fill up most of the croissant. If you don't fill it up so much, it'll probably be a little nicer looking. But whatever. Okay, so I just melted a little bit of butter. I think this is actually 2 tablespoons. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush it over the top. And when we bake these, we're just going to bake them as the tube of crescent rolls says. So about 12 minutes or so. And then while that's baking, I will go ahead and make the icing. Alright, so we are set on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven for about 12 minutes and we'll be back. Alright, our apple turnovers are done. They're a little golden brown, you can see, and you can feel that they're done. So I'm going to go ahead and set these to the side to cool off for a little bit. And then meanwhile, we're going to make the icing to drizzle over this. Okay, so stay tuned. Alright, so now we're ready to make the icing that we're going to drizzle over the turnovers. So I have a cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of milk. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're just going to whisk that up. And you can adjust the measurements to the thickness you want it. Right now it looks kind of watery, so I might add some more powdered sugar. Yeah, I think I'm just going to drizzle a little bit more sugar in there. All right, I went ahead and added some more powdered sugar, and it's a little thicker now. So again, this is going to be to your thickness, and probably what I should have done was just added my cup of sugar, my powdered sugar, and then added the milk in slowly. And then that way you can test it along the way to see how thick it is instead of adding too much at one time. I've done this a couple different ways, and I have followed a couple different ways that people do it. So this was the way one person did it. But I probably would stick to adding my sugar and then a little bit of milk at a time. So I think I got it at the thickness I wanted it now. So we're just going to bring the turnovers over, turnovers over, and we're going to drizzle this on them. Okay, stay tuned. All right, so I went ahead and put the turnovers on a plate, and now we're going to drizzle this icing over it. So, don't know how pretty it'll be, but so I've probably put so much apple filling in it that it's probably going to be messy to pick it up and eat it. So I'll probably have to knife and fork it. That's okay. Some of the best tasting things are messy to eat when you pick it up by hand. All right. Okay, so there we have it. Apple turnovers. So I think I'm going to dig into one so we can have a little taste test. Now here's what I'm trying to figure out in making the icing for whether it's turnovers or cinnamon rolls or whatever. Making your own icing with the powdered sugar, the milk, the vanilla. How do you get that? And please drop it down in the comments and let me know. How do you get it to be a white icing? So you can see this is almost a translucent color. I'm trying to get it to where I want it white. So if you can help me out with that, please drop it down in the comments, okay? So just a minute, I'm going to get a fork and we're going to give this a taste. All right, I'm going to go ahead and taste the end here since it's closest to me. And that just breaks right off. You can see the bottom is golden brown. So let's give it a taste. I do have some apple in there. That actually is pretty good. The apple filling, the can of apple filling comes with a ton of apples. I probably prefer them thinner than what they are, but they're not really that hard, so it's okay. So, yeah, the thing I'm trying to perfect is the white icing rather than translucent color. So if somebody can please help me out with that, that would be great. So other than that, I think it tastes really good. It's going to be a delicious dessert. I'm sure Glenn will have some coffee with his. I'll probably have a cup of milk. So that is it. Apple turnovers from Pillsbury Crescent rolls, a can of apple filling, and some things to make your icing. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this video. I appreciate you taking that time out of your day. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it as well as I'm going to enjoy eating it. So remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.